Welcome to the Skip and Shannon Undisputed podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. You can catch us Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific on FS1. Here's what this podcast is all about. It's an unscripted, unfiltered, undisputed version of the day's show, and there is a lot to get into in today's podcast. Skip loves the Cavs tonight, and Shannon believes the finals are going back to Cleveland for a Game 6. Former NBA champ Eddie House gives LeBron an A- for his performances so far in the NBA Finals. Rob Parker, an outspoken critic of the NBA playoffs, breaks down the NBA Finals viewership so far and makes a bet with Shannon for a steak dinner on Game 5. Skip and Shannon react to the 7-1 odds we will see a Patriots and Cowboys matchup in Super Bowl 52. Plus, Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard tells you how much pressure is on the Warriors tonight and even drops a Run DMC lyric. Skip and Shannon, it's good to be back in the studio.
How you doing, Joy? Good to see you. How was your weekend in Pittsburgh?
It was very lovely, and I was back here in L.A., but it got topped off with a nice back-to-back NHL championship win. So,
that's true. Congratulations.
Hey, how you doing, Skip?
Hi, Shannon. How are you? You can reach me now.
Yeah. I love it when a player come together.
Oh. So you think you're back in business now, huh?
Think.
Oh, here we go.
Think. What did Rene Descartes say, Skip? I think, therefore I am.
He did say that.
Yes, he did.
All right, well, let's get started with that.
Sure that applies.
That game. Tonight's Game 5, the Cavs blew out the Warriors on Friday night to force a Game 5 tonight in Oakland. LeBron recorded his 9th finals triple-double, passing Magic Johnson for most all-time. Kyrie led all scorers with 40 points. The Cavs are now down 3-1, the same spot they were in last year. Shannon?
Yes, Joy.
Can you see the Cavs winning tonight in Oakland?
Crystal clear. Everything is before me. Put some NAFCON A as a drop. Eye drop in my eyes. And everything just...
Is it legal?
Yeah.
You're not
performance
seeing,
enhancers around here.
No.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it was hazy at first, Skip, because you remember, we talked on Friday, and you were afraid they were about to get blown out because you didn't think they had the mental fortitude.
I thought they were demoralized.
Yeah, kind of like your Spurs were after that Game 6 collapse they did in 2013 finals. They were demoralized. But the difference between your team and this team is that they have one transcendent Mount Rushmore player that would not let that happen.
So it's back to him?
As I told you, it would not. They were not going to sweep on the Cavaliers' home court. Skip, I can see it happening. Two things I think are very important for the Cavaliers in order to get this back to Cleveland for Game 6. They must run the Warriors off the three-point line. But in the process of doing that, they can't make it a layup in a dunk line like they did in Game 1. You remember Game 1, Skip? They gave up 60 points in the paint. That's unacceptable. Now, you also can't let them shoot an NBA record like they had before the Cavs said, nah, we don't want you to have any three-point records. Those records belong to us, 24. You can't let them get 18 threes. You can't let them shoot 9 in the first half. You can't do that, Skip. And I believe and Ty Lue said they were too nice. For the very first time in a long time, Skip, and everybody said, well, this could be the Celtics, this could be the Lakers rivalry. You remember in '84 when Kevin McHale snatched Kurt Rambis, snatched him out of the sky, and the next thing you know, Kareem has the ball and he slings an elbow at Larry Bird's head and say, Larry, what you gonna do? Forget you too. When you saw Kevin Durant and you saw LeBron standing face to face, now I don't know what was being discussed. Maybe it says, hey, I don't like your portfolio. I can't believe you did what you did, leaving the team. You know you had this team down 3-1, KD. I think that's what LeBron said. KD, you know you had this team down 3-1.
Well, LeBron told him he was talking crazy, which he seemed to be at that
point. Yeah, hold on. No, you talking crazy to me.
Yeah.
Did you forget, KD, who I am? Do you really?
Well, I think KD must have forgotten at the end of Game 3 who he was because he shot one right in his face.
Yeah,
right?
he did. That's okay. But hey, don't forget, KD, I'm still the beast of the East. I still run the NBA. Everybody keep talking about, Kevin Durant has passed LeBron. I said, no, you didn't. You ain't passed Jack. I'm in the front, you in the back. And all the pressure is on this team, Skip, because you know, deja vu. You don't want to go back to, you don't want to get on a plane. The next plane the Warriors want to get on, they want to be going to Cancun, the Bahamas, or they be wanting to go play golf or go to Vegas. You do not want to board a flight and go back to Cleveland. Because if you get on that plane going back to Cleveland, we coming back to Golden State. You know that, I know that, and Joy Taylor knows that. But Skip, didn't you like what you see? Tell me the truth, Skip. Now I want you to tell the truth, because there was nothing on yesterday, and you and Ernestine, I know y'all went to church. So I know you're going to tell the truth. Tell me you didn't like what you saw on Friday.
I loved what I saw on Friday because I got Golden State in 7. I didn't have Golden State in 4. I got them in 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
So I was actually very happy that they finally stood up for themselves and spoke for themselves and actually hit back at Draymond and company and actually got sick and tired of hearing all of the Warriors' traveling party basically prematurely celebrate. That's how it came across to me, that they were already smelling the champagne in the visitors' locker room. Isn't that what Draymond said?
Yep.
And finally, LeBron said he didn't know about that quote, but Kyrie finally got mad. And guess what? The beast of the East on Friday night, Kyrie Irving, right?
Why you do this?
Was the key. Well, who scored 40? I mean, who took the game over? Who went crazy? Who made all those threes? Who made 7 of 12 three-point shots for the Cleveland Cavaliers? Wow. And who set the tone? Another guy who got mad about the champagne quote named J.R. Smith. We had a big J.R. sighting, didn't we, early in that game? He hit 2 quick ones and then a third one in the first half that set the tone and detonated that building in ways I didn't see coming. I just thought they'd all be flat on their back psychologically because the beast of the East, quote unquote, that you call him, let down his team in the final 130 of Game 3. Because it should be, you know and I know, 2 games to 2 games going back to Oakland, right? It should be. You got the ball in your hands, King. 1:30 left in your house, and you come up empty?
Nope, we didn't want that.
Wait, we didn't want that.
Because here's the thing, the narrative, Skip, if it's 2-2 and we win the ball game, that wouldn't do anything for LeBron's legacy.
Oh, so he did it on purpose.
He needed to be down 3.
So he tanked Game 3 on purpose.
I'm not saying
he threw it on purpose.
I'm not saying he tanked, but I'm saying to come back from 3-0.
It would be something.
And now,
is that what you're predicting? Are you back on the bandwagon?
I never left.
Oh, you never left. You sounded like you were long gone on Friday. Yeah.
I told you I can't see a way that LeBron James would let them sweep him on his court.
Well, you let Michael Rappaport sweep you out of your chair on the Undisputed set right next to the queue.
And guess what happened?
Gateway Plaza.
And now he got to do what? He got to pay me because he bet me we're getting swept.
Did he bet?
Now, what good is that broom going to do him? What good is that broom?
We got everybody to autograph.
Yeah,
I guess he's just going to have to throw it in the trash like everything he
His wife going to make him put it to work.
Right?
If I thought also the big key for that game on Friday night, Kevin Love. Kevin Love been getting those same shots.
6 of 8 threes? Wow.
He's been getting those same shots in games 1, 2, and 3, but he didn't make them. Tristan Thompson. We also had a you know what? I take everything I said back, Joy.
How shocking.
Chloe, you my girl. Chloe.
I knew it.
I don't know what she did. I don't know what she said. But I want her to say more of it and do more of it. Because Double T was active. Boy, Skip, he was on a pogo stick. Everything, chasing everything down. Told Draymond, don't you bring that weak stuff in my house. Ooh. And you know what? Somebody returned a lost item that we had lost for the last week of the season, last week of the playoffs. Darren Williams. They found it. He came
now you're back
on his
Darren
we came and hit a couple of threes.
You let him cut after Game 3.
Oh, he came in, a couple of threes quick.
Said to stash him on the end of the bench and not let him back in any game. Right?
Skip, you know how you say things. You say things in the heat of passion, and that's why I'm very cautious not to say certain things, Joe. That's why when you get mad at your significant other, you like, calm down. Let's watch this together. You sit right here. What do you want to watch? You want the Real Housewives of the Potomac? Okay, we're going to watch Real Housewives of the Potomac or New York City or Atlanta. And then after about 30 minutes, we're gonna come back and we'll talk about this, Skip. That's what we do. So I said some things out of frustration, and I apologize for that. But we back in business. Kyle Korver, Skip, you see him? He was stroking it, wasn't he, Skip?
I don't even remember Kyle Korver.
Oh, you remember?
I saw so many other threes from JR and Kevin Love and Kyrie. I thought that was enough.
No. Hold on. You act like Bron ain't hit no threes.
He made 3 out of what? 6 tries? That was.
Don't do that, Skip. Don't do that. Why you do that, man, like this? He was 3 of 8.
3 of 8. Sorry, I gave him a couple.
Skip, think about this. The man was plus 32. They up.
Well, good. That made up for his minus 11 over the last 3:06 of Game 3. Minus 11 was the king because his team got outscored 11-0. It should be 2-2.
And Skip, even though he got outscored 11 points over the last 3:08, he still ended up with a +7. Think about this. You saw in the first half, he goes out, they go on a 12-0 run. He goes out for 1 minute, they go on an 8-0 run.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, Skip, but you see what I see. When LeBron is off the court, for whatever reason, Kyrie can't keep it going. The moment LeBron steps back on the court, they still put the ball in Kyrie's hands. And what he do? He goes straight to the basket. The ball, that's his security blanket. He needs, bro. Because he know when Big Bro out there, Big Bro got.
I think it's the other way.
No,
I think Kyrie is LeBron's security blanket.
No, Skip.
Because all he did was average 39 points in the 2 games in Cleveland, and Bron feels real comfortable with that.
And all LeBron did was average a triple-double. As a matter of fact, he's averaging a triple-double for the season.
Yeah.
Skip, this how.
Guess what? They're still down 3-1. Way to go, Bron.
Guess what? He gonna
Empty stats. Misleading.
There's no such thing as empty.
Yeah, they are.
So hold on. When Magic Johnson had these 8 triple-doubles, were they empty when he had them?
Were they winning? Were they ever down 3-1 in a series? I don't think so. I don't remember. Were they ever down 3-0 in a series? I don't think so.
Hold on, let me see. Magic lost 4 times in the finals. So whether they were down 1, 2, or 3, at the end of the day, guess what, Skip? He lost 4 finals. 4.
He
got
got 3-0
swept.
once when he got swept because he pulled his hamstring in Game 1 and couldn't play another.
He didn't pull his hamstring in Philly in '83 when Moses Malone said 4-4-4.
Yep.
Did he pull his hamstring then?
Guess what? Golden State was trying to say 4-4-4-4.
No.
And
we say no.
That was the end of that deal. And guess what? I'm going to restate what I said on, I don't know how many days in Cleveland. We loved you, Cleveland. You were great
4.
to us.
Yeah, we're not like Draymond.
Yeah.
Talk bad about Cleveland.
I said this again and again. Anybody who thinks Golden State is an all-time great team can go jump in, and I kept saying that lake, which is Lake Erie, which was 1 block away from where we were set up, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And anyone who thinks that this is the greatest duo in sports, Steph and KD, can also go jump in that lake, which is Lake Erie.
I think I might take Kareem and Magic.
Guess what? Well, I think I can go on. Don't get me started on that one. But I'm going to say it again. I reminded everybody in Cleveland, this Golden State team has proven so far, up to this moment, next to nothing. Because I know KD's new this year, obviously, but the nucleus of this team has 1 cheap ring acquired from LeBron James when he was without Kyrie and without Kevin Love 2 years ago. And I'm going to say it again. At home this year, Golden State lost to my Spurs by 29. Then we're down by 23 in the third quarter when Zaza ended the season for Kawhi Leonard with a dirty play. And he should have been kicked out of that game the other night, and he should be suspended for a game of these playoffs. He's the dirtiest player in the league. I'm sorry, but he's still eligible to play tonight. But the point is, if you look at the history of this team just this year, what happened? They lost at the Lakers by 20. They lost at Memphis by 21. They lost at Denver by 32. They blew a 24-point lead at home and lost by 9 in overtime. They even blew, what the heck, how did they do that? A 14-point lead in Cleveland on Christmas Day. Cost me the only quesadilla I lost all year to you.
Green Bay.
Green Bay? I don't think, did we bet?
We bet the playoffs.
I don't remember that, but whatever. I'm about to get them all back for this series because I've already got one, and I got one on Golden State.
Well, you wouldn't give me one for the bet when Matt Ryan win the MVP.
No.
You chicken out.
Yeah, because you knew you had inside information, but that's okay. So the point is, really? Are you going to give me all-time grade on a team that lost 137-16 in a Game 4 at Cleveland? 130. They gave up 137 points, this all-time invincible Warriors team?
Skip, you can't just say because, Skip, they lost 1 game. What are they?
137?
They're 15-1. They're 15-1. You can't look and say, okay, they lost this many games. The Bulls were not 82-0. They did not blow everybody out. They lost some games. They lost
blown out like that.
It doesn't, Skip. And the way you look at it, we look at it differently. I look at a loss as a loss. You look at it, well, they only lost by 5. But this is professional. This is not an achievement to only lose by 5 to this team. Either you win or you lose. But, Skip, you said something very interesting. You said Kyrie Irving scored 40 points, and he was magnificent. I mean, the English, the left-hand shot, he scored 40, and he was +7. LeBron scored 31. He was plus 32. Plus 32.
I only care about outcomes, and I care about a 21-point outcome. Because
why you mentioned LeBron plus minus then?
Because the final score, because that mattered down the stretch of Game 3. Well, come on. The last 306 at home.
So what did Kyrie?
Minus 11?
So what did Kyrie?
Come on, King.
Hold on.
You back to being Prince?
Hold on.
I want to know.
You told me Kyrie was the closer.
Well, he is.
Okay,
I told
why
you
did
I
he
blamed
close?
Kyrie, but he didn't have the ball. He had one time.
Yes,
he
did.
had one shot against Clay. And by the way, Clay being the best perimeter defender in basketball, did he not get torched by Kyrie
the
on
past
Friday
2 games?
night?
But I thought you said Kawhi was the best perimeter defender.
No, I didn't.
He's
just best all around. He can defend you inside or outside. Play just on perimeter, just guard and guard.
Look, they got to make it physical. You got to play the game. You got to fight harder. They fought. They did not want, and as you mentioned, all the other guys, LeBron says, I take all the apps off. Only app he got on his phone is that direct contact between he and I. Don't worry about that, Joey. And he didn't hear what was being said. But his team, and that's what we always say, Skip. You might not. I don't read the paper. Well, I don't watch the news. You might not, but your teammates do. You got family members, and they told him, say, Brian, they coming in here. They got champagne in our locker room. He said they won't drink it tonight. And make the game physical. This is what make it like the '84 Celtics and the Lakers. Hey. I ain't saying snatch anybody out the sky because, Skip, you and I both know this. And knock on wood, hope nobody gets hurt. But the longer a series goes, the more things that could happen that doesn't go in your favor.
That's correct.
So anytime you get a chance to close the team out, and you know what's happened, Skip? In his last 3 games, closeout, when he's facing elimination, you know what LeBron got? Triple dubs. Triple dubs.
Well, we better have another one tonight.
Triple dubs.
Yep.
Oh, what you mean? We let the game come to us. We don't force a game. We don't come out try to shoot no shots that's not there. We don't play hero ball.
I'm going to tell you again, this Golden State team is not nearly as mentally and physically tough as a lot of people crown them for being up through 3 games. So if you attack them, if you set the tone early and you say, no, you're not going to run us over early, good things can start happening. And LeBron has played very well in regular season and postseason games back in this building. And I love his chances tonight.
Yes.
Kyrie's got to come up just as big as he did. He averaged 39 points a game in the 2 in Cleveland. He averaged 22 points a game in the 2 back at Golden State. LeBron cannot turn it over 6 times in the second quarter the way he did in Game 1, and he cannot unplug in the second half the way he did in Game 2 when they were only down 3, and he took only 6 shots in the second half. But now that they have flipped the script and the momentum, and there was a very interesting quote from Steve Kerr that he said before Game 3 this year about Game 3 last year, and he was talking about how that Cleveland imposed its will. He said, remember the force with which they brought and crushed us in Game 3 last year? He thought that was the turning point, even though they came back and won Game 4. But he said that's when they gained the confidence, got their crowd going, and he said that set the tone for their collapse later in the series. Well, I thought Friday night set a new tone for this series. So I'm going to be with you on this game. I think LeBron and company, with a whole lot of help from his guy riding shotgun, Kyrie, I think they're going to win tonight. I got them I'm going to go pretty high score, higher than I thought I would for the other games. I'm going to go 115 to 112 Cleveland in this game. I think LeBron will keep them in it, and Kyrie will finish it.
Well, Skip, we need, if you notice, I think the Big Three gave them 93 points on Friday. And I said in order for the Cavs to win this series, the Big Three must be somewhere between 80 and 90 points. They got, 16 points from J.R. Smith. So they got another score. But the biggest key, let's equate the Warriors offense to this, Skip, and you can relate to this. And a lot of people that follow football maybe don't follow basketball. But the Warriors offense is the run and shoot. And what do you have to do? You got to get physical with those receivers to throw off the timing. And that's what they did on Friday night. They got physical with Clay.
They did.
They got physical with Steph because Steph was not aggressive. They were picking him up. They were in it.
I agree.
And this is the way you disrupt the timing of this type of an offense. You cannot let them get out and run because in Game 1, Skip, it was a layup line. It was a dunk. They were giving up average of 21 fast break points in the first 3 games. They gave up 9 on Friday. That's the recipe.
What was the real final score Friday night? 24-11.
3-point.
3-point shooting.
Yeah.
This team, Golden State, way more than Cleveland, lives and dies from the 3-point line.
Yes.
And under pressure, what shot can go the quickest?
The 3.
The 3, because it's just hard, man. And it takes, your hand starts to shake a little bit, and your degree of difficulty is much harder from 25 feet than it is from a foot. So keep attacking in the paint. They dominated. The Cavs did the paint. They won there twice last year. They got good vibes, man. I read that they had dinner at the same San Francisco wherever restaurant last night that they did last year before those 2 games.
Whatever you did last year in this situation, and that's I've had coaches say whatever you did last time, do that same thing again, but this time do it better.
LeBron should have called and gotten Draymond suspended, though, right?
Well, Draymond should have got Draymond suspended.
I'm wondering
about Draymond. Text.
I don't know. I think I used to think that he was playing,
to the edge.
To the edge. Now he's playing over the edge.
What about your boy, Pacheep shot?
Yeah, a cheap shot.
I mean, hold on. What is it with the Skip? What's with the Warrior players kicking and hitting other opposing players in their private?
I don't know.
That got to be a Warrior thing. I wouldn't understand.
I had a little moment of that the other day. I know you saw it. LeBron
don't do not. That's beneath Bron.
No mercy. The Cavs are down 3-1 to the Warriors, but so far in the finals, LeBron is averaging a triple-double with nearly 32 points per game. But LeBron also has 19 turnovers in the series. We're joined by LeBron's former teammate, Eddie House. Eddie, how would you grade LeBron through the first 4 games of the finals?
I give him an A-. Reason being, he's shooting 69% from the free throw line. So I got to knock a little bit back for that. The 19 turnovers, I got to knock a little back for that. And then in Game 3, he made the right play at the wrong time, passing it to Korver. So those 3 things are going to drop him down to an A-.
Knock it back a little bit for everything you just said?
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, he's averaging a triple-double. I mean, if he's not doing these things that he's doing, 31 points, 11, and 10, they're nowhere. I mean, they haven't been in the first 2 games, but in Game 3, they wouldn't be nowhere near it, and then the same thing with Game 4. He has to carry all this weight. He's been doing a great job. 54 from the field, almost 40 from 3. And you know he's not that big time of a 3-point shooter, so 38% is
been,
big
by his
time.
Standards, big time.
Yeah, that's big time. So I got him at an A- for those reasons.
I gave him a B.
A B?
I gave him a B.
From Shannon Sharpe,
yeah.
a B?
I thought I was going to get an A+.
What?
No. He can't get an A from me. Now, if the series were tied 2-2.
That's the most objective thing you've ever said in the history of this show. Seriously.
About LeBron.
Yeah, I was waiting for A+.
No, he can't get it.
He's averaging a triple-double.
He is averaging a triple-double. That's me now. As Eddie said, basically 32, 12, and 10. His last 2 games, he's plus 39 with LeBron on the court. They're minus 23 in under 10 minutes when he's off the court. They're down 3-1, but when LeBron is on the court, they're plus 6. That's dominant. But for the very reasons Eddie talked about, the turnovers, I can't give him that for the simple fact he's got 19 turnovers. He had 8 in 1 game. And the problem that I have is that in Game 3, he had 39, I think 12 and 9, or 39, 11 and 9. And we're not talking about what he did. We're talking about what he didn't do. He passed the ball to Kyle Korver, who at the time upon the signing, Skip Bayless said Kyle Korver is the greatest catch-and-shoot 3-point shooter in the NBA. And then you can't base a decision on what the outcome happened. You got to make the right play and live whatever the results are. That's the kind of guy I am, Skip. If you make the right play, I can live with the results because I know you did the right thing. And that's what LeBron did. He made the right play. He felt that if I can give us a 5-point lead, make it a 2-possession game with 40 seconds or less in the game, this is ball game. Because now they got to play the foul game. I have no problem with it. I'm going to give him a B. I've always been honest about LeBron. He's still the best player in the game. And can we please stop this conversation that KD has surpassed LeBron as the best player? Because he has not. And he will not until LeBron says, you know what, KD? Come on over to my house and I'm going to give you this crown. But until he calls him over, y'all need to stop talking about this.
I also want to congratulate my friend Eddie House for being thoroughly objective about what happened on that play, because the best player on the planet has to attack the rim First of all, on the Draymond play, though that was the Korver play, because Draymond's got 5 fouls, and he's got a super highway to the right-hand basket to start that play off, and he dribbles around, he shies away from the rim, and then you don't want Kyle Korver, who's an outstanding catch-and-shoot three-point shooter, shooting the shot of the year for you from the corner with, 52 seconds 52 seconds left. So back to the top. I'm going to give LeBron an objective grade here. I'm going C+, because that's what the best player on the planet deserves for these 4 games in total, because the best player on the planet is still down 3-1 with Game 5 in Oakland tonight. So it should be 2-2. I think you would agree with that.
Yeah.
It should be 2-2.
Yeah, everybody agrees with that.
Okay? And to me, it could be 3-1 Cavaliers. And then you two would really be in your glory right now, because you'd be saying, we got this. But deep down, both of you know you probably don't got this, because at best case, it could go to Game 7 at Oakland. And I don't think Oakland's going to lose back-to-back Game 7s at home. That's just me. That's why I picked Golden State in 7. Now, back to what has happened so far. What if LeBron hadn't had 6 turnovers in the second quarter of Game 1 and 8 for the game? How much closer could that game have been? Because he just literally gave it away, and the halftime lead was Golden State by 8 in that game. What if in Game 2, LeBron hadn't had what I gave an A+ effort in the first half? He was just as dominant. It was one of his great playoff halves ever, and then completely unplugged in the second half for reasons I can't explain. He went tentative. He went passive. He began to defer. I've never seen anything. Well, wait a second. I have seen something like it. I saw it in the 2010 playoffs versus Boston. 2011, you were there at Dallas. I got to bring it back up.
Again.
How about 2014 in games 3 and 4 back home in Miami? That's that same guy. I don't know what happens. He just says, I won't do this right now. I'm going to unplug and disengage.
Skip.
I don't get it. Because you're only down 3 at halftime of Game 2.
Okay, how about this? You keep saying that, okay, in Game 1, they were down 8 points, although LeBron had 19, 11, and 6 at the half.
6 times you just said, here, you can go the other way and score.
He turned the ball over.
Yep.
Now, Game 2, he did have a triple-double.
He did.
So 2 of the last 3 games.
He took 6 shots in the second half. No good. He's better than that.
In those 2 games, it really was the third quarter that killed him. You know, they were right there at halftime.
They were.
Yeah, they right there. And in that third quarter, it's just, I don't know what happened and what has been happening to the Cavs, but they turned it around Game 3. They finally were plus in that third quarter, and that made it a ball game.
They
and of
did,
course,
because Golden State went 1 for 5 from 3, and they got up in them a little bit more.
See, yeah, that's part of your defense. Yeah, don't let them be comfortable.
Yeah, down the stretch, it's the last 3:06 of that game, LeBron is minus 11, because he was on the court for that stretch. And I'm sorry, it's the king in his house, in his palace.
But
you can't allow that.
What about that shot J.R. Smith took? I think that kind of that was a snowball effect after that. He missed a 3, then he got the rebound and ran to the baseline, just jacked up a wild 3. Didn't take any time off the clock. I mean, even that whole game, that Game 3, they were jacking up 3s all throughout that game. That was just, and then Golden State will come right back down and hit a 3 on them instead of running your offense after you have a good defensive possession. You stop them, you get the rebound, come down, run your offense. Instead, they fell in love with the game that the Warriors play, and you can't beat the Warriors at that game.
Okay, but I'm going to say it one more time. The king in his palace had the ball in his hands with a 4-point lead and a minute and a half left. You have to close that deal, king. That's your fault. That's your time. Those are your possessions.
But I think we've both agreed that he's not that closer.
He's not
that Kyrie is the closer.
But I thought
that's just
on
not
that night against that team in that moment,
it's not in his makeup.
This is turning point, man. This is make or break, where you could you could flip this series on its ear.
But if he just makes he always makes the right play though.
So let me ask you,
I say it was the wrong time to make the right play, but he just can't help it.
I just want to know.
I'm telling
you, if Magic Johnson, how many times has Magic Johnson ever got criticized for not taking the last shot? Never. Michael Jordan, how many times have you ever got criticized? Because think about it, Skip. The night that he came back, his first game back in the Garden, what did he do, Skip? How many? Can you tell the people? Because I don't know if everybody saw it, but I watched the game.
Tell him. Let Steve Owens tell him. It's on your
card. Oh, it ain't on my card.
Huh?
I got
right
I watched it. No, he hit double nickels, 55 points.
He did.
But the game-winning shot, what did he do, Skip? He passed the ball to Will Perdue for a dunk. He didn't take the last shot. He made the right play.
Do you want me to start rattling off all the last shots he did make?
All I'm saying, Skip,
How did he cap it off in Utah? What happened?
Skip.
He stole the ball, dribbled it all the way up to the other end, and everybody's open. I showed you the video the other day. Everybody's open. Steve Kerr's open in the corner. Pippen at the three-point line. Kukoc at the other three-point line. What does he do? He does a little this.
It's
little
his
subtle,
time.
A little subtle, and he says, nope, sorry, guys. I got this.
The man scored a double
He did this right
in the
here.
Garden. Double nickel
Right.
in the final play.
Who cares?
But I'm
Who
just
cares? Nobody cares. It's regular season. Huh?
You gonna do this? Okay, what about
well,
okay? I remember one time.
so
you
what's
remember
your
John
point?
Paxson? John Paxson had to go. In the last 5 minutes, he scored 10 points. Who took that shot against
How did he get, what?
Phoenix? Who took that shot? Oh, my bad. Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
Remember Steve Kerr said?
He did.
Steve Kerr,
Michael told him, 2 people are going to come to me. I'm going to dump it to you, and you are going to make this shot. Wait, so LeBron told Kyle Korver before that play, I'm going to dump it to you in the corner.
He said, "Be ready."
But at that time,
Did
but
not
at that
say
time
be
too, Kyle Korver was kind of struggling up and down, very
was.
inconsistent. You know, Kerr was pretty much money. You know what I mean? So you didn't have to worry. He just
you
reiterated
said
the
Steve
fact,
Kerr
hey man, you
said Steve Kerr a better 3-point shooter than Kyle Korver?
Yes.
You crazy.
In the
You
moment, he
crazy.
is.
You crazy.
No,
You crazy.
crazy.
Hey,
man with the Spurs. He did it with the Spurs.
He
He
did.
did it with the Bulls. Who has Kyle Korver did it for?
I mean, look at the teams he's
I'm
been
just
on.
trying. But he still ain't did it.
He playing with Jordan. He playing with Tim Duncan.
I mean,
Millsap and Horford ain't the same.
but if you can shoot, you can shoot.
And he can't. That's why he got.
If you can shoot, you can shoot.
That's why he got 1,800 3-pointers. He can shoot.
Yeah, he can shoot.
He's shooting 60% from that short
Hey, but
left
when the
three-pointer.
light, you know,
But
when
he
the lights
didn't
get a
make
little
that
bright.
shot.
But you can't base it on results. So if the head coach calls a play, the quarterback goes through his progression. He throws me the ball and I drop it. It's the quarterback fault?
No.
Okay then.
Is
That was
there
your
like
fault.
a column in the? I didn't see. I
That's
didn't
your
get the
fault.
stat line for the tries. How many times we care about that, or is it win or losses? We tried real hard. Shot the
No, I
shot.
don't do that. I'm a guy.
It is results.
Make the right play.
Results,
I'll live
isn't
whatever
it?
results may come.
It was the right play, but at the wrong time, man.
thank you.
Very well said, Eddie.
Into the
The Golden Nugget Sportsbook released their odds for all potential Super Bowl 52 matchups. Cowboys versus Patriots is the most likely matchup at 7-1. That's followed by Patriots-Packers and Patriots-Falcons. Skip, it looks like Vegas agrees with you. You called this back in February. Do you agree this is the most likely matchup?
Shannon, I have one thing to say to you. How about them Cowboys? I just had to get in one.
Just because they say it doesn't mean it's true, Skip.
Well, Vegas is on my side. You can take that literally to your bank, Mr. Sharp. Not so sharp.
What do you always say? They don't build all those casinos on...
Yeah.
But that's what Skip. Skip, why do you do that, Skip? Why you do this? When Vegas like justifies or
Vegas.
clarifies or makes the emphasis your
Vegas.
point, you're like, oh, Vegas. Now these guys know.
I have been trying to explain this to you, but you're too blinded by your Cowboy hate. The Cowboys are going to win the NFC. Now, I can't make a case for them beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl because
Why not?
obviously the Patriots won the Super Bowl, then went out and won the offseason. So I can't do that. But I'm going to tell you this. This Cowboy offense, I think it could be at least as explosive as Tom Brady's offense will be, adding Brandon Cook and all the new weapons that he has. And I keep telling you, I love this Cowboy draft. It's going to bring a new energy and a playmaking spirit to this team that it didn't have last year. I love me some taco. I want tacos for breakfast, lunch, and dinner next year when I'm watching my Cowboys. And I love me some Awuzie and some Jordan Lewis. And I love me this entire defense with what Dez is campaigning for on Twitter. And we're going to talk about this in depth later, but please go sign Darrelle Revis. This team needs a mentor, a guru, some wise old rub-off factor in the secondary the way Rod Woodson gave to your Ravens.
So you want them to sign a guy
Yeah.
that got fat and happy?
He didn't get fat. He always looks like that.
No, I don't mean it in the literal sense, Skip. But you heard what he said. He was talking about what he had accomplished. He wasn't talking about the moment. He was talking about what he had already done.
Yeah.
He had talked about how he had gotten old. He had talked about he had nothing else
He
to
was
prove.
on a sorry Jets team that's now like what? What is it? 1,000 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. It's has the worst odds in Vegas.
Skip. that's when you find out who your players are.
Well, put him on a contender, and we'll refine.
But I don't want him. If he only going to play hard on the contender, I don't want him.
And I want Rod Marinelli back because he was the MVP of my defense last year because it was top 5 with a bunch of no-names that you had little to no respect for. And on offense, even the kids are starting to contribute. Have you checked out that Noah Brown? They're raving about him. Their 7th-round pick out of Ohio State. He torched my Sooners with 4 touchdown passes on Fox that Saturday night in Norman. So he could be a factor on offense, and little Ryan Switzer's going to be a factor on offense. Fresh blood, fresh energy. I love this team. And so does Vegas.
Can I ask you a question? When has an NFL team ever drafted a player and not been impressed with him in minicamp or OTAs?
I can tell you some good Jimmy stories on that one, Jimmy Johnson stories.
But those
he would pull me aside in OTAs and he'd say, I got to tell you, we made a big mistake on so-and-so. He will not make this team. He would tell me that in OTAs.
Skip.
Serious.
I'm going to look, the Patriots I can see. Because if you look at the Patriots and what they did, okay, they had a bunch of guys, they got small guys, and their running game is really an extension of the passing game because they throw a lot of shallow crosses, they throw a lot of short balls and have guys to drain out the backfield, have them make people miss. That's really their running game. But Bill Belichick says, you know what? I like that, but the best offense I've seen that I've ever assembled for Tom Brady was 2007. When we got Randy Moss, we got a deep threat, we got a guy that could take the top of. So let me see what I can do. How can I do that? Pick up the phone. Sean Payton, what would it take for us to get Brandon Cooks from you? You're a number 1 draft pick. Done. So they want to become more explosive. What do? They go out and get Brandon Cooks. He said, you know what? Now, I know I don't really turn the dogs loose and let them go hunt the quarterback, but I want to be able to generate a little bit more pass rush without having to sacrifice my back end. What can I do? I'm calling the Carolina Panthers. What would it take to get Coney Ealy? Because I saw him in the Super Bowl. He had 3 sacks, 4 fumble, interception. How can we get him? A 2nd-round pick? Done. So he brings in Coney Ealy.
Love it.
Re-signs Dante Hightower. He says, you know what? Malcolm Butler is one of the better cornerbacks in all of football.
Yep.
It would be nice to put someone comparable to him on the other side. What can I do? Free agency. List of free agency. Whoa! Stephon Gilmore's on this list. Woo! Let me get him.
Wait, you're preaching to my choir.
So I can see why Vegas will say the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
But now let's come to your
Please,
Cowboys.
Let's do.
And see, I know what you and the Cowboys and a lot of Vegas is doing because they think lightning's going to strike twice. Like you said, okay, they ate at the same restaurant, the Cavaliers. They're trying to stand in the same spot in hopes lightning strike them again with what it did with Dak and Zeke. Skip, you and I both know you covered this game for over 40 years. I played it for a long time and covered it. The likelihood of you finding 2 guys in the draft, in the exact same draft, that come to your team that perform like they did last year, Skip, is next to none. The only time I can think about that ever happening was the 74 Steelers when they drafted Lynn Swann, Mike Webster, John Stallworth, Jack Lambert. All of those, we know what they became. They all went to the Hall of Fame. So the Dallas Cowboys says, you know what?
Wait, did you just say that Zeke is a flash in the pan?
No, Skip. How did you get splash in the pan?
Because you said, what are the odds of them repeating what they did last
year?
They're extremely high.
No. I'm talking about the draft this year. The Taco Charltons, the Owuziers, and all those guys. That's what they're hoping, Skip. I'm looking at it. They got 6 guys, 6 rookies that are on the number 2 on the depth chart. Now, there's a great chance that some of these guys are eventually going to be starting. DeMarcus Lawrence, he had back surgery again. Now, Randy Gregory, you already know, Skip. Flunking tests left and right. So he's a wrap. You lose Crawford, Jack Crawford.
Yep.
Not Clarice Starling's boss, Jack Crawford, the Silence of the Lamb, for Jack Crawford. He's going to get booted off the case. Skip. And you're hoping you lose your entire secondary. Not
entire, but keep going.
The starters. Let's just say for the starters. Brandon Carr is gone. Oh, go ahead and say it, Skip. Well, you didn't have much use for him.
Anthony Brown started a lot. The kid out of Purdue last year.
Claiborne,
really good.
Gone. Barry Church. You love Church when he picked off Kirk Cousins in the end zone. Wilcox, gone. Skip, you're asking 6 rookies to come in and contribute, play heavy minutes. Now, I believe some of these, at least half of these guys, will eventually end up being in the starting lineup. And why I said Dak and Zeke, what they're hoping is lightning strikes twice. They're hoping to get the same production this year as they got last year from rookie crop. Dak and Zeke, Skip, you and that. Stop now. You need to stop.
Wait a second. How about 2 drafts ago gave us what? A guy named Jalen Smith, who before he had a career-threatening knee injury in his final bowl game of his college career, was the most explosive player in the draft. And at these OTAs, he started to run and do drills, and he just might be ready for next year. So you better be careful about that because he might become as explosive an outside backer as you see in the league.
Well, until that day comes, I'm gonna withhold my judgment then. But I'm talking about the guys that they got listed right here, and they're counting on rookies that play heavy minutes. And at the end of the day, do I trust Dak more than I trust Aaron Rodgers? Absolutely not. Yeah. Do I trust him as much as I trust my soon-to-be ex-neighbor? Building the house in Atlanta. He's moving away from me.
Oh, okay.
No, I do not. So, because I've seen what Aaron Rodgers can do on the road. Do we know if this Cowboy team can go on the road in a winner-take-all situation and advance? No, we do not.
Well, we're about to find out.
Yeah, because you already know. You know why you're going to find out? Because they won't have home field this year. They will not.
Playing a tough division.
I don't care nothing about the division.
They're going to win it, though.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Yeah. You know why?
So wait, are you still picking the Giants?
What part about that? I didn't change my mind.
Wait, do you want Paul Perkins or Ezekiel Elliott? Help me out. Who you got?
Paul
Perkins or Ezekiel Elliott?
Perkins? Do I want Dez Bryant and Williams, or do I want Odell Beckham Jr.?
The Odell who was at the game on Friday.
Right.
I'm wondering if he can work in all the
with his hoodie. You see him with his hoodie on? With his hoodie on?
Well, he'll probably miss at least 2 Giants games this year because Drake will have a concert, or maybe his social calendar will be so heavy
Drake will be at the game.
Make it.
Or do I trust? So if you're going to talk about that, do you want Odell Beckham, Brandon Marshall, Evan Ingram, and Sterling Shepard, or do you want the Cowboys receiver? Sign me up.
Wait, help me out. Do you want a quarterback who last year threw 23 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions, or one who threw 26 touchdowns with 16 interceptions, which was tied for 4th in the league? And I'm obviously speaking of Eli Manning, tied for 4th with Brock Osweiler and Blake Bortles.
I want
the same Eli who has led the entire NFL in interceptions 3 times. Wow. He's an interception waiting to happen. And this year, I've got him for 20. It feels like it's a 20-year.
In the Super Bowl era, how many quarterbacks have won multiple Super Bowl MVPs? Let's see. They got a guy named Brady. They got a guy named Montana. I think they got a guy named Starr. And maybe a guy named Bradshaw. And then there's this old guy up here plays up in New York named Eli.
Yep.
So in 51 years.
Who came on our show at the Super Bowl, Undisputed, live from Houston, and he said, you're right, Skip, it was the luckiest pass in the history of the Super Bowl. He admitted it. Luckiest play. How did he escape? He's not even mobile, and he escaped 5 sacks.
And guess what they put inside the ring? On the luckiest play in Super Bowl history,
they should have.
We beat a 18-0 football team. And Rabbit, speaking of Skip, you know any famous rabbits? Who framed Roger Rabbit? I know Jessica Rabbit, but they got one up in New York. And here's who arrested Dez Bryant. Who locked him up, Skip?
Yeah.
Jack Rabbit.
Yeah. Well, this time he's going to be looking like this because this receiver's going to be running by him and another one's going to be running over there. Wait a second. Where'd that guy come from? Ryan Switzer? He's as fast as Cole Beasley is. We can't cover all these guys.
I'm not worried about him. I'm talking about Dez and Jack Rabbit.
Wow.
And you know what he did to him.
He did. He locked him up. They won twice. We'll see what happens on opening night.
In those 2 games, how many passes did Dez catch?
It felt like none because he caught one and dropped it.
2 for 16 with a fumble. Not only did he strip, and Jack Rabbit picked the pass. Do you know all year long Jack Rabbit was the only DB to pick a pass when the ball was thrown to Dez Bryant? He was the only one. He also forced a fumble. So when he got 2 opportunities to put them clamps on him, he ain't you know what, Jack Rabbit so bad, he ain't make Dez put his hands behind his back. He locked him up like this. He said, I want you to see these hands.
Better offense right now, Cowboys or Giants? Help me out. Who you got?
The Giants got the better. I mean, the Cowboys have the better offense.
Okay.
Who has the better offense?
Defense.
Defense.
Right now, I give a slight nod to the Giants.
You better not say no slight, Skip. With JPP back.
My defense is coming.
Olivier Vernon.
Coming.
Skip. So let me ask you.
I got to see if we sign Revis.
Okay, how about this? Is the gap between the two offenses, is it wider between the two defenses? So if I say, okay, Giants Cowboys offense, Giants Cowboys defense, who has a closer margin?
I think it's wider with the two offenses. My offense is explosive. Yours is hit and miss.
No.
How are you going to control the ball? Throw it every time?
Hold on. We got Evan Ingram in the tight end position. Mm-hmm. We got Brandon Marshall. My new team.
It is your new team.
My new.
It's hard to keep track of all your teams.
I'm going to be doing the do all year long, riding my Cowboys.
We got to do first game.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. Now, Eli, I ain't going to even speak that into existence. I'm betting a do. I don't even care who the quarterback is. They can bring my homeboy Phil Simms back out. I got the Giants over y'all opening day. I got the Giants. I'm betting a case on the, opening day. I'm betting the case when they play them in week 8, 10, or whenever they play them. And I'm betting the case they're going to win the division over your Cowboys.
Pay up and then take it all back.
We got 2 for sure. Opening day, division. We got it.
No mercy. Blowout games in the finals haven't turned away viewers as the TV ratings have reached numbers they haven't seen since Michael Jordan's last title with the Bulls in 1998. Through the first 4 games, the series has averaged nearly 20 million viewers per game. We're joined by Rob Parker. Welcome, Rob.
Look at you. Rob. How are you, Joy? Why are you looking at me like that? Like I was wrong or something?
No, we're just going to ask you a few questions. Yeah, you've been very critical of the NBA playoffs.
Yes. Why are you looking at me like that?
And this finals matchup, and you've called it boring. So how do you explain this?
I can easily explain this. First of all, people love to watch a train wreck. Okay, so that's part of it. And then there's no competition. Shannon, I checked my TV guide opposite the NBA Finals.
They don't even make TV guide anymore.
NBC has Manimal on, and CBS has My 3 Sons. So, Google those.
My 3 Sons have been on since the 60s.
Okay.
Try again.
Okay, so forget about that. All right, let me try something else. First of all, before you dance around and talk about how great the numbers are, Game 1, which was a 19.2, right, was down 5% just from Game 1 a year ago. So this whole buildup of these two teams in the trilogy, people didn't buy in from Game 1 because people didn't watch. They should have watched at record numbers or better numbers. And then here's the other one. After Game 3, they had 20.5 million. Now, that's a great game. 11-0 run. The Warriors steal that game to go up 3-0. Now, Game 4 should be a bonanza for NBA and ABC with the TV ratings from this standpoint. They were going for history. 16-0, had a chance to close out LeBron. For all the people who don't want to see LeBron win, here's my chance. He's going to get swept. All the GOAT talk is over. There was a reason to watch. And you know what? The ratings dipped. Now, not a huge dip. Yes, they did, Skip.
To 19.
But they were 20.5. Here's my research. I got it, okay? Here's my research. The ratings dipped. And it was a small dip, but still, they should not have dipped. They should have grown and gone bigger.
All that being said, with LeBron, the GOAT talk, and 4-0 sweep, and KD being on the Warriors, Shaq and Kobe, Tim Duncan, all these other scenarios, none of them did what that 98 Bulls series did.
Don't count the Spurs because the Spurs have the 5 lowest rated NBA finals, okay? So
I've been saying they were broccoli.
Okay, they were boring. You know that, Skip. And people never bought into the Spurs nationally.
Except when they were playing LeBron in 2013 and 2014.
Not 2007?
No.
Not in that one. People didn't want to watch that.
Yeah.
See, you could be like, there's 2 different kinds of butterscotch. You can have the butterscotch with no name on it, just the yellow, or you can have the Werthers. Now, which do you want? LeBron James is butterscotch, but he's Werthers. The Spurs ain't got nothing on the wrapper. It's just yellow paper. You just know it's a butterscotch.
But are they beating 1998 rating?
Shot at the Spurs?
No.
What are we talking about the Spurs for?
No, we're not.
But, Rob, think about this. This is the 20 years. These are the highest rated. I don't care they're not drawing 30 million. I don't care they're not drawing 25 million. These are the highest rated finals since Michael Jordan won 6.
They should be better than Michael Jordan's, because everybody's telling me that each of these teams have 4 or 5 Hall of Famers on it. Everybody, we're watching the Warriors are the all-time great team. They were about to go 16-0. Not even Michael Jordan went 16-0. This was supposed to be the best team that we've ever seen.
Think about this. Michael Jordan was going for 6-0 with 6 Finals MVPs. And in Game 6, he had the flu. Think about the compelling storyline. Now, look, you're talking about LeBron could be. Skip, you were at that game. So you know firsthand.
He didn't have the flu in that.
No, Game 5.
Right.
Game 5.
Series, right.
The year before. But go ahead.
This many. That's what he was going for. He was about to be perfect. Is Michael Jordan going to be perfect, 6-0? Will he win Finals MVP? Skip. And plus this, they went 72-10 in the regular season. They followed that up with 69-13. People don't even mention that. Look, no matter what you think of LeBron, I hope he gets swept. Can he pull this off? Will KD get his first one? Will Steph Curry play like the Steph Curry in the finals of the regular season? No matter what the reasons are, people are still watching this series.
And by the way, Rob, quick point of order. Friday and Saturday nights have been death to sports ratings, so the NBA has tried to avoid a Friday or Saturday, and they'll even space their games out absurdly, like 4 days,
which is ridiculous, right?
The Friday, and they got stuck with a Friday, so that led to a slight dip there. I get what you're saying. You'd like to see it go up, but I think it had a whole lot to do with Friday night.
But it should be building, Skip. And I'm just saying the numbers.
Well, Game 4 was up 5%
right.
from last
but
year.
It should be back. And don't forget.
Was up 4. Well, you didn't mention that though. You said it was down.
Well, it was down from. He's saying it was down from Game 3.
From
but
Game
4 was up 5% from last year.
From last year.
I will bet you tonight will be up. It could be the biggest draw of all 4 of those games.
You're still betting me? I beat you the other day on that Game 3. I beat you on that bet.
We bet on that.
Yes, we did.
What did we bet?
We bet Game 3 a case. I said that the Warriors would win. You could go get the tape. Okay, I bet you that.
I think the tape said that you said 5.
No, I did say 5 originally, but I'm talking about we bet on Game 3. You don't remember, Skip?
No.
Yes.
Well, you weren't on the show before Game 3.
Yes.
Why would I bet just on Game 3 before the series started?
Because you thought that LeBron and them would win that game, that was the game, you know what I mean, that they would win. Yes, I did. We did bet that. No. Absolutely.
I thought we bet.
OE, Skip.
I thought you said that it was going to be a sweep.
No, I never said that.
Okay,
you remember right on this show,
5.
I said, Skip,
I checked the tape before the show.
And what did I say? I said I wanted to
5.
bet. I said I wanted to bet a sweep, and you said you should do. And I said no. The Cavaliers are going to win a game at home.
No, this is what you said. You said the Cavaliers are going to, I'm too chicken. I'm too scared to say a sweep, so I'm going to go 5. Skip said, have the courage of your conviction and say sweep.
But I was
no, I'm
right.
not going to do it.
I'm going to be right after this. This Game 5,
okay,
it's all over
that's
tonight.
But it's not about Game 3. I don't know
we
where you
bet
got
Game
that.
3. We
did not.
Why
would I bet Game 3?
You weren't on the show.
You weren't even here.
I was before we had that.
We was in Oakland.
No, but we bet that before.
Why would we bet
3.
on Game 3?
I remember
all the
that.
games. Not Game 1, not Game 2.
You're losing your mind.
I think you're losing your mind.
Really?
Because Rick Barry chewed him out on the radio, so that's what that is.
That did it. Yep.
He said all white guys sounded like.
Oh, no. Skip and Rick Barry aren't even close. Are you kidding?
Good friend of mine. Former partner of mine, Rick Barry, on radio.
And are you happy about what transpired?
I hope he put you in your place.
No, Skip.
So, back to the case at hand, speaking of case of due, what we have been trying to tell you all year, I found this whole NBA season one of the most dramatic subplots and plots is debatable, discussable day after day. I have loved coming in here and going at it with this man across from me about NBA whatever. Westbrook's triple-double, Westbrook versus Harden for MVP. KD leaves Westbrook and goes to form a super team in Oakland. LeBron James, down the stretch, goes 23 and 23 over his last 46, and you're saying, what is happening to the Cavaliers? Then they flip their switch, and here they come.
But your ratings went up because you're dealing with the creme de la creme of the NBA. You go and look at the regional, Skip, they were down 15% all year, and TNT and ESPN national ratings were down 6%. That's because the other 28 teams you're not talking about people weren't
that's always the case,
weren't compelling.
though.
No, not as bad. 15% is a huge drop.
I got
regional.
that. But all of a sudden, we have cream versus cream. Ultimate cream.
But one is sour cream.
Which one?
The Cavaliers.
They're sour cream, and they won one. Wait, 137 to 116 is sour cream.
They'll never shoot like that again. That's a once in a lifetime. Did you watch that? Everything they put up.
I didn't see it. What happened?
You know who has the most 3-points made in a regular season game?
Yes.
Who has the most 3-pointers made in a postseason game?
Yes.
So in other words, they can shoot like that.
I will sit here right now. If you think they're going to score 137 points at Golden State tonight?
No, I mean, think about it. That's the most points anybody
Will they
scores
win
since the
tonight,
second
Shannon?
game. Yes!
No, they won't. Steak dinner. It's all over.
Okay.
Put your hand out.
You got to remember
Skip,
your
you
bet,
want
though.
some of this?
I already did it.
No, I mean for this game right here. I'm
You
here
already
today.
know
You already
Big
bet
team.
it. You already bet me on this game. It's going to come down to this game for our bet.
Yeah, because you
Joy,
said
you want
5.
some?
I'm not a gambling woman.
A steak dinner?
I ain't going to Sizzle either. Okay, I just want you to know.
Plus,
Don't be coming. Are we going to
you
Sizzle?
don't pay your bets
I don't
on
make
dinner
skills.
anyway.
Skip, I pay my bets, don't I?
No.
Yeah. I win 12 out of 14, and you say, let me take you to dinner one time, and it's all clear.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how you pay.
I would want all my dinner.
Or when you see that the Residence Inn, I would say, Skip, this counts as a dinner.
Yeah. He's like, I don't make you a Skip's money, so this is going to have to do. No, it's not going to do. I'm going to somewhere swanky
Okay.
where you got to have a coat.
So, Rob, will you watch tonight, or you're going to...
I've been watching every single game.
You know why? Because it's Steph and Durant against LeBron and Kyrie. It's awesome.
I've been
You can't get bigger star power.
been
Think about
watching.
Skip, and think about it. People go out on Friday and Saturday night. A lot of people don't care about basketball, whether they're basketball fans or
You're
not.
telling me these are two of the greatest teams ever, and you're telling me that if you're a basketball fan, or we're not asking Joe Blow to watch, we're talking about the NBA fans. Why would it dip from 20.5 to 19?
Because it's on Friday night.
It's on Friday. Do you know what Friday night is? I've been working all week. I'm going to drink. I'm going to get my drink on. That's what they're going to do. You know it, Rob Parker. You need to stop playing. You make it seem like you weren't a 20-something-year-old, 30-year-old. I'm so...
What?
What, Skip? Joy, you want some?
No.
Joy, come on. Get in on this.
No, Rob.
Just a steak dinner, Ruth Chris.
For what? That it's over tonight?
For tonight. Up?
No, plus you're off your diet now, so that might be an expensive dinner for you now.
It's going to be a name, but it ain't going to be Ruth Chris.
Coming up, how would you... No mercy. The Cavs blew out the Warriors on Friday night to force Game 5 tonight in Oakland. The Cavs are down 3-1, but Richard Jefferson says the pressure is not on Cleveland. Let's take a listen.
Do you think there is a pressure on Golden State to get it done?
They're damn right it is. It's not on us. It's not on the pressure. Where's the pressure on us? They had a 73-win team and they added a former MVP. We added Kyle Korver and Darren Williams. Like they added an MVP to a 73-win team after being up 3-1, and then KD was up 3-1. The pressure is all on them. We believe that we are the defending champs. We believe that we have enough here to win a championship, and we haven't played great thus far. But there's no pressure on us. There never has. There's never been that. It's been about them proving that last year was a fluke. KD validating the move here, which has been validated. But no, we feel very comfortable.
Jefferson taking shots there.
It might be pressure on him in the locker room now.
Yeah.
Guess you don't want Kyle Korver taking that last shot.
That'd be like, Skip, I had a number one show, and I added Shannon. I'm like, whoa!
Welcome, Chris.
Thank you.
Is Jefferson right that the pressure is on the Warriors?
Well, obviously, most of the pressure, I think, is on them. If they don't win Game 5, then the Cavaliers, I think, have a huge mental advantage. I mean, that would be 5 straight elimination games or possible elimination games that the Warriors couldn't close. KD couldn't close last year. So all the pressure would be on them. But it's not, the Cavs are not devoid of pressure. And that's the blessing and the curse of having the best player in the world in the GOAT conversation, in the Mount Rushmore conversation, and being his teammates. So LeBron, like we talked about, does he get a pass if they lose? No, because I think the GOAT conversation ends. Mm-hmm. And then it becomes, instead of LeBron versus MJ, a lot of people are saying it's LeBron versus KD. Now, who's the best player in the world now? So LeBron will not get a pass if they lose. And then the teammates. If you're Kevin Love, there's pressure. Because if you don't deliver and you get beaten in 5 and you don't play well, you might be in Indiana or somewhere else next year because the Cavaliers are going to have to do something. And the rest of those guys, too, could be out of there. So I do think there's pressure on the Cavaliers as well. And let me just say this, too. Pressure in this regard, too. Game 4, if you're a Cavs fan, had to be a little bit bittersweet. Sweet, obviously, because of the victory. But you had to watch that game and say, where was this urgency, this physicality, this, hustling, getting on the floor, even the adjustment they made to double team Steph and force Draymond to shoot threes? Where was all that in the first at least 2 games, if not 3?
Well, you saw a lot of it in 3. They were
3 they played, they could have won that.
They got up by 7.
Yeah.
But you had to feel, why are we in such a hole,
And then they passed the ball to Kevin Love right up under the basket and the chance to go up 8. And then
I thought he got fouled, but that's.
And not only do they not go up 8, Skip, they allow him to come down and hit a 3. So now instead of being up 8, it's a situation. But I totally agree with Richard Jefferson. Now, I think he could have validated his point, could have made his point without saying they added KD and we added Kyle Korver and Darren Williams. We get the gist of what all he had to do was say, hey, they added KD. We didn't add an MVP. He didn't have to call those guys out by name, but hey, we get the idea, Skip. Given the fact that they added KD, who blew a 3-1 lead to the Warriors team that he joined, and given the fact that the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead with 2 of the 3 games at home to wrap this thing up. So absolutely. Because they're going to say, well, hold on. If you can't hold a 3-1 lead and a 3-0 lead, what am I missing? So now, if LeBron comes back, Chris Broussard, if LeBron comes back and he pulls this off, they got to widen the door. Because him and Michael Jordan walking in the same.
You better just get past Game 5.
Start that stuff. I got nothing. Hold on. Why is Richard Jefferson up there? They should have had that. It didn't have LeBron and Kyrie and this other. I don't know who taking Donuts' place, but Richard Jefferson doesn't get a single by himself. Skip, I will call you about what time the game come on tonight?
9 p.m.
9 p.m. Oh, it's gonna be 6 o'clock. By about 8:30, Skip, I'm gonna shoot you a text.
Okay.
See you.
What are you gonna say?
See you in Cleveland.
See you in Cleveland.
See you in Cleveland.
Okay.
We might have. Hey, Skip. We might have to skip the U.S. Open. Skip.
We might have to. First of all, I love what Richard Jefferson said. I believe it because it was real talk and it was true talk and it was right on time talk. It was the equivalent of what I believe JR tweeted the other night and then had to retract because he said he got hacked, which is Cavs in 7. But I do believe, I get what you're saying about LeBron. As long as you have LeBron, you have some pressure. I get that. But it feels like the weight of the NBA world has shifted onto Golden State's shoulders tonight because I do think they celebrated a little prematurely the other night because it just felt so over. That it felt like Cleveland was so demoralized not only as a city but as a basketball team. And I did not expect them to pick themselves up off the psychological mat in time to do that. 137 to 116. 24 to 11 from the three-point line. It was a tour de force, man. And it looked like what I thought some games would look like with Cleveland because I have high regard for LeBron and his basketball team. It's a really good basketball team. It didn't play very well down the stretch, but I don't have as high regard for Golden State as you were saying last week in Cleveland because I still wonder how mentally and physically tough they really – I don't question the talent. It's extraordinary grouping of talent. If you want to just say on collection of talent, I don't think we've ever seen anything like this before, but they have to back it up. They have to prove it on the biggest stage against a legitimate team that beat them last year, again, without Kevin Durant. But I said before, they really have only one thing to show for themselves, and that's a cheap ring that they won 2 years ago. Again, no KD, but still, there was no Kyrie and no Kevin Love. So now you got to show me, and now the momentum has swung so wildly that, to me, I'm not rooting for Cleveland as much tonight. I'm rooting for the NBA because I want to see a great finish to this. Because I do think it's been a great season. It has not been a great playoffs, mostly derailed by injuries on both sides or lack of competition in the Eastern side. But tonight, I'm rooting for a Cleveland victory just for the NBA's sake, because it would be sensational. It would be fun to come in here and talk about. My goodness, if it's going back to Cleveland,
and
3-2.
I think we would almost. Obviously, Golden State could win 6 there, but we would almost be assured of a Game 7 if Cleveland wins.
Yeah, and Skip, the longer the series goes, you don't want anything to happen, but you never know. Yeah. It was like that Super Bowl. The closer New England got to the Falcons, the more the doubt started to creep in their mind. Like, hold on, we just had a 28-3 lead. Now it's 28-6. It's 28-12. It's 28. It's 28.
Then you just knew the sky falling.
Yeah. So you get this game, and you get.
This is the one. Yeah. Tonight is the night. If it swings again back to Cleveland, I'm going to love this because it's going to get really interesting.
If Golden State closes them out tonight, will your questions about them end?
I got to see how they close them out. But again, maybe I'm picking with my heart tonight, but I got LeBron and Kyrie tonight. I don't know what you think, but I got LeBron keeping it close and Kyrie winning it in a much more physical game. Maybe it gets a little cheap. Maybe it gets a little quote-unquote dirty, but that's the way Cleveland plays, and that's the way they beat them last year twice there.
Got to be physical.
Yeah, got to be really physical.
I don't know if this has ever happened, but this is in the last 2 games. Golden State won Game 3. They shot better from the 3 than they did the 2. Cleveland won Game 4. They shot better from the 3 than they did the 2. I don't know if that's ever happened before in NBA history.
No.
In back-to-back games, a team shoot better from 3 than they do from 2.
The challenge for Cleveland, I can't imagine they're going to shoot as well or even close to as well from 3. So it's got to be on the defensive end. And as bad as the officiating was in Game 4, I like the feistiness and the chippiness.
I did too.
And all, you know what I mean? Like, it was almost like a throwback.
It was.
You see LeBron say, KD, crazy.
Why are you talking crazy?
You're talking crazy. See,
KD giving up 100 pounds.
No, but I mean, he got the Golden State, then all of a sudden he found his voice. He never talked LeBron like that at OKC.
Nice.
He done got his voice. LeBron said, KD, are you out your mind? I'm the king. There is none higher.
Sucker MCs should call me Messiah.
Don't talk about checkers. Don't talk about chess, because you're the only one that plays at the table. But, Skip, in checkers. For Oklahoma, we from old school Oklahoma. You're king. You playing checkers, you sitting with the bottle tops, the Coke bottle tops on that board. I can't believe LeBron looking at him like, KD, are you for real?
Too.
You see, bro. Skip, when somebody get mad, my grandma was good at this. I thought my grandma was a ventriloquist. She get mad at me and she, I'm like, how she say that? Her lips ain't moving. And bro was like, KD, are you for real? Boy, I'm about to do you out here. You know what? Because he said this before, Skip. He doesn't want to get thrown out of a game because he's more valuable to his team on the court than off. But, boy, I think he was about to do something bad to KD.
So you knew set the physical tone, I thought, the other night? The guy who spoke those lines that we just saw, Richard Jefferson.
He's been valuable.
He has been fearless coming off the bench, and his bodies start flying when he comes off the bench.
And
I admire
guarded KD.
Yeah,
That's giving LeBron a break from KD.
And Dante Jones, what did he tell KD? He said, I'll put that thing to you. Hey, you doing all that.
Dante would.
So, Chris, you seem to be leaning back toward Golden State.
I do think they're going to close it out tonight. But, look, you can never write off LeBron and Kyrie. I'm with you. I would love to see this thing go.
Pull this off and you got to widen all the doors.
Well, that's
pull it off and widen all the doors. Now, what about
that? If they do come back and LeBron's averaging a triple.
I got Golden State in 7. That's all. I'm
but
sticking by it.
You're going to have to give him mad props.
If
he pulls this off and they win this thing in 7. LeBron.
If they win it in 7?
Yes.
It's not going to happen.
If they get
I don't even have to deal with
I think I'd have to get the
It's happening.
Well, you weren't so sure the other day. Huh? I didn't hear that on Friday.
He is a little more
I was laying down, and they were like, beep, beep, beep.
And they said,
LeBron got a triple-double.
No mercy. This is the Skip and Shannon Undisputed podcast, where we're delivering you an unscripted, unfiltered, undisputed version of the biggest topics of the day's show. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Like us on Facebook at Undisputed on FS1. Follow on Twitter at Undisputed. And catch us at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, Monday through Friday on FS1. You can find us on Channel 219 on DirecTV, 150 on Dish. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. That's it for us today. We're back tomorrow with more debates as we will react to Game 5 with Chris Broussard, Jim Jackson, and Rob Parker. We'll talk to you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.